Hi, my name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. We're going to be going into question 169 of the top 200 Social Security disability questions. Remember, if you want to help me out for making these videos and making them available to everybody, please go to websites where you can leave a 5-star review. If you're not sure what they are, where they're at, just go to the bio area below. There's a little link. You click it, you leave the review. 5 stars are always very helpful to me. All right. They help me compete against the mega big box firms. All right, let's talk. 169. What were some of the reasons you were fired from your prior jobs? Now, firing is different than quit. But some people will quit the job thinking that they're going to get unemployment or reemployment benefits, and then they realize they had to get fired. That's a muddy bog, boggy mud. That's a bad situation to have to go into and explain the whole yada yada. So if you have to explain it that way, get your words together ahead of time. But what I'm really interested in when it comes to that is, what types of jobs were you fired from? Were you fired from jobs that actually had something to do with your impairments? Or were you just fired from jobs because you just didn't want to work? That's what we're looking at here. Were you a hard worker or were you not a hard worker? Like me, it's 1:22 a.m. and I'm still working. I had a lot that I had to do today. I did a bunch of stuff. I was just at USPS mailing off initials. Lots of fun. You guys should try it one time. It's miserable. All right. With that said, that's the whole idea sorry, it's very late. That's the whole idea. What were some of the reasons you were fired from your prior jobs? And we're looking for past 15 years. But realistically, we're looking within the past 5 years. Why are we looking at the past 5 years for the jobs that you were fired from? We want to know, when did your impairments become severe enough to keep you from working? And what's the best test of that? It's not what the vocational expert is saying. It's not. It's, when could you not do jobs to be able to afford your rent, to be able to afford your mortgage, to be able to afford your taxes? That's the real standard. When did you become incapable of working? And that's it might have been, for example, a situation where, you could work and then you couldn't work. You had good weeks, you had bad weeks. Well, when did it fall apart enough for you to get fired? That's what we're looking at. And were you fired a lot? If you were fired a couple of times, well, was it consistency as to the problem, or did you just not want to work? Were you just fired once after working at a place for 25 years? Well, that speaks volumes. If you worked there for 25 years, we're probably guessing you were going to work there until retirement. And if you were going to work there till retirement, we're probably guessing that you were a hard worker. You liked work. You did work. You made money. You did your thing. With those types of claims, we know the claimant was intentionally trying their best and just couldn't cut it because of their impairments. Now, if we have another claimant where, they got a long history of jobs where they get fired from this one, fired from that one, fired from this one, fired from that one long before their impairments started, then we get a problem. We got a claimant who just doesn't like to work. And people are kind of like wild animals. You have different kinds of wild animals. You have different kinds of people. Some people, they're, kind of like sloths, and they don't want to work. They're doing this thing up to a tree, and they get to the tree, and they're like, cool, I'll Netflix and chill. And then you get other people, like the busy beaver, where all they do is they work all the time, and they build their little tree city, and that's their thing. That's what they do. The thing is, America's not really built for everybody, but we could do a better job of that. But the point is this. We're trying to assess, is this person just trying to go on disability benefits because they don't really want to work? Or they can only work part-time, maybe a few more hours more? What if they push themselves? What if they had a skill that they, The judges sit back and they're on their 5th hearing for the day. They're on their 6th hearing for the day. They're on the 7th hearing for the day. The judges sit back and go, if I got to work all this, if I got to do all this, if I got to push all this, why aren't they working hard? Why aren't they pushing hard? Think about that. That person sitting up there that's sweating in black robes, that's been reading from a computer the entire day doing hearings. Think about this. That person right there is working their butt off. They're looking at you going, why can't you just work an hour more than part-time to make enough to live your life? Which we all know part-time, just slightly over part-time work, we all know you can't afford anything with that. You can't even afford to share an apartment with that at this point, unless it's like in Kentucky. Otherwise, like if you're in Florida or you're in California or New York City and California, it's like, you know, they're like, check out this cool shed in LA, only $3.3 million. Whoa, what a deal. And I'm just like, there's other beaches. You could do any beach, go to any other beach, you know, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, all right. That is question 169. Remember, if you want to catch up with me for anything outside of representation, I go live 8 to 10 every Thursday. You call the phone number below, Eastern Standard Time, 8 to 10 every Thursday. Make sure you use a fake name when you call in. I'll catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.